Mi wena yo e gba unya mala mi gba wena yo e fa unya mala kuzagbe amosia modo unkude ye nti aye mi lo flando ajira ya kwazande ogbede Ichaya kofafa te kwe ala jin kusira Viviti ma emi la de ina gbenyo na me de kwa na olu Etachi banya eva kore amode o dande itutu na wa olema.
Okay, like I said earlier on in the morning, you know, balili is a process, it's a prayer, it's a ritual. And you can all see we went to the forest, or we went to the beach, to the pit to fetch the clay, and we went to the well side to fetch the water, and we passed through the sacred forest, and we brought the water. There are a lot of people, you know, women gathered here in their numbers, and you've all observed what went on. And like I said, the people who came around were not just people who do not have anything to do. They are very responsible, well-to-do, recognized people, people with high respect in society. They all came and they did their prayers, and they did the balili process, which is the plastering of the walls. And you can imagine everybody was fighting to get space. You can see women, old women, you know, trying to buy space for themselves. You know, so if the thing is not powerful, if it is not beneficial to the celebrant, how could they come and be fighting among themselves just to buy space for them to have a way or small space to do the prayers? So it's something which is highly, you know, embodied with spirituality of African people. And I want to say, and I want to add that in the morning you asked me why elderly people were the only people selected to go fetch the water and that of the clay. And I explained to you, but there's something that I wanted to add now. And the reason being that elderly people obey rules. And you cannot, you know, misbehave, and you cannot do things with impunity when it comes to spiritual processes. And holiness is also part of whatever goes on. And those people who went to fetch the clay and the water, they are people who are well informed and really groomed into the crannies of the spirituality and the spiritual activities around the shrine. And they are responsible people. Married, if you are not married, you are not supposed to partake of those activities. Married people are responsible people, or to be honest with you, and they can obey sexual control activities. So we cannot leave this kind of activities into anybody else. You know, when you are growing, you are young, the sexual activeness is high, and the tendency of people and young ones disobeying the rules is also high. Therefore, these particular issues or the particular activities are only reserved for responsibly, you know, knowledgeable old women who are always ready to obey the rules. And they are holy at this time, because you cannot have sex over the night before and partake of these, you know, activities. So holiness also plays a very major role in African spiritual issues and spiritual activities.
Okay. Just to add to what he just said, you know, we the young folks are very adventurous. You know, we like to explore. Okay. But if you look at, he did mention of holy. Women being holy and all that, and you can see most of our women that went are elderly folks. Yes. Most of them are in their how do you call it, 50s plus going, which means they are, you say holy. If you are in your menses, you are not regarded as holy, which is part of African spirituality. So most of these women have passed that stage, you understand. So it is good for them to carry out those instructions perfectly as it has been laid out, compared to the young ones. You know, the young ones sometimes we like to do crazy stuff. So that is why our elders other women are used for this purpose, as my senior man have said.
The wisdom of the ancestors are imbued in the elderly, and the aged the person is, the more knowledgeable the person is. And therefore, in that regard, these elderly women are dedicated with these roles to play and to lead in these activities. And analogously, it's just like a Catholic priest leading in the communion. He has to bless the wine, take it before he passes it on to the congregation. And I can tell you, this has been our great grandfathers, spirituality that has been laid down. So somebody has to introduce what needs to be done. And that person is the old lady.
The old lady.
You have seen two of them were playing this role concurrently at the same time. The water, the clay, the smashing. And right now, if you see, they are the people who are, making the mural. We call it mural. They are doing the murals on the wall to beautify the wall with the white clay lotion. So you can see that they started and they are now finishing. Okay. So they've started and they are now finishing, whilst everybody has finished and gone. Okay. So that is how it is. So they are canvassing all that has taken place, and as they are doing it, they are not only doing it, they are doing it prayerfully. They are, making, murmuring some chants and stuff like that, which I do not know, and nobody is supposed to know. It is only the two of them who are given that kinetic power to conduct that ritual. Until they pass on, nobody is there to do it.
Okay. Now, to answer the second question, you did mention about the struggle. The struggle, you see, our Asian fathers have all the wisdoms with them. In life, you can never have anything smoothly. You have to struggle for it. You understand? So, what our Asian fathers were trying to depict is that life doesn't come easily. You need to struggle. Yes, you need to struggle to reach the top. So whatever they do here, you can see they do it with energy. Sometimes people use the word stampede, but when there is stampede, people die. A lot of stuff happen. But you see, everybody was okay after the whole system. Sure. So you see, I wouldn't like to use the word stampede, though you understand. That's the struggle, the energy. For you to understand that life does not come easily. You need to struggle for it. And trust me, most of them after this come to do Thanksgiving here. Most of these women you see, as my senior brother would say, these are business women. They own houses, they own vehicles, they own a lot of properties. If they don't believe or know the importance of this, they will not come and bend their energy just to get a clay and go and do their prayers. So simply to sum it up, it's like no pain, no gain.
Well, when you watch carefully, like you said, the first group were also women, but they don't have the blue calico on their cloth. They are the descendants of Fiashides and Fiashides' children.
So
the priests, the departed priests.
Okay.
These are their descendants. Are you getting the point? And for instance, myself, if I were a woman, I would have partaken of what has happened, or what they were doing. But because this is only for women, that is why
it is only women.
It's only women. So those women who don't have the blue calico are not Fiashides.
Okay.
They are descendants of Fiashides and priests and custodians of the shrine. Are you getting my point? If your dad or your uncle has been a stakeholder here and you are a product of that lineage, you are qualified to do what they were doing. Okay. The other side is for the Fiashides only, and they have the blue calico. And therefore, for that matter, nobody can mess with them if you are not a Fiashides. That is the reason.
Okay.
That's the reason.
So I believe he has done justice to them. So aside that, you have other women who also patronage the temple, also come to join them in the masses. And the other ones in blue are strictly the initiates. Okay, they are strictly the initiates. That's why you see the blue is around them. So basically that's the difference. So in when you bring it to the modern football game, they will say popular stand and something like a VIP, but it's not like that. Maybe that would be the mentality of someone. But this, as he said, the descendants of the initiates or priests who have taken charge of this temple before, and also people, women who patronize this temple, they all come to partake in this.
Supplicants and celebrants.
You know, they all come and partake in this. But the one in the blue is strictly for initiates.
Yo, nyawezo. Ai konani.
Aye.
Oh, nyatepe. De konwa mablanamu. De konwa a jojo makatititi. Nhokwe wonya. Ala ba jokla ka ba nwe wonya. De konwa anya hokuna chovado. Nyatepe. Nyatogbiwe hwedari. Manya mablanwo onyo. De konwa la la gbagbaba na agbanwo wonya. Nanya ba majavio ye na jivi dopo ye na va jaklora papa Torgbui Adzima gboa nana bo ampa ene alo na do gbarani a oh akpo viaji nana yina dore wofa ye do majana jina o aba fika ya la na la chi dopo na la ka dopo ye na va kuchuni alo na bobo ne ba o papa agbama hia o tumlo Barangunya, angusiangui kana chone kla wojia, ima dogo la nao. Asichama na lo, madadano, wanyagba va dog baraneko. Ba papa, madaku kwa sima nyonyona mo. Barangunya sina nyona. Alona ina juta fiara goji. Ye afutova e chola moji arajo chovo. Ozubaru kala tepa na tsikala osima. Madaku kuno ba groba papa Adzima. Ajora chomla. Maba va chomu ho kabanto do amodo gbosu gaza amona siajo wala obo ahaba vinya vanamijo alla aba amagbeto aba miao kana fo vivi manwe wonya matimi akpekple nkuo ye mareka ha mati akadi kpio a no vinya o kaka ma va gbegblam lo kaka ma gbegblam nya Torgbui we dadi nya gbangu sesero dadi nami gake gbaba nwiakria bablava wuga ni cho gajiji anya Torgbui ba foji bun avoye nya ntontontonto manya gaho nwonyo manya mawu nwonyo dagbaba nwonya lama saba nwonya na fudama anlina o na gbapama alagbano mara kuku malafia mi popoma nwita makura Torgbui Adzima nrua Mara manami na miasa.
We kwere mi ko.
Yo. Nwita makurangwa. Mi sugbo fofonya nonya. Ova poezi mi akata. Ye odan okonra manami midru. Nyata pato amokata oku. Gaka jale ka vajuma to shidinya. Baya to manya. Okonya va dara gbonka ko moto. Magbogbo matrogbo wa gbama. Ayata malai pa nyamarasi. Agalasinyo, agamalasinyo, avolangunyo, avomalangunyo. Oh papa, makuchuyo, maba masuba oda. Masuba oda.
Akpa dada. Akpa no. Ba adewana katapio kodogolemi.
Shia mavagbare. Agba wo oponto aboka drikai. Yo yin shafi, ni shako ni na biminyu. Ni gesha ya manya ba koshira ka be koshira afu yo. Never the mepo unjejoa. Ni ma no mo go sha shagbo. Ba ale alo. e pon je ti to bia do na mi ruwa e mi lo mo ji sha gbaru bana ku atro ko a for ka e na mo ajiru na ado na ye shia la shia bodo na nya shia la shiwa la o yi bodo yi wa kokoko mo ye mi eva do la ti ba famolo afumalo mo to mo lo mo lo agbawu po mi valo amen
ka apai ka bona alo kami je fa goma egba tajojinu kai la suwo be afi na aka tro mi aga va fia ejabe nguma ono jole wa gba ma fi nya tro ava fia
o na tajimu yo na lia ni ba le agbawu oku ya ne to na mo zon 3 ya be mi tu ya ka va ni a na ka to ka va be ba le ban komo da ko mo bua na asio ta da ko wa yu mu ya ye mi lo akpan
yo dada akpan no kakaka ba de nyaoma akọ afiami ede na de wo ba dwumede na ase na adwen ben na wodita dwumede na wo ba ye echi
ene ye me ede edikan ya maba dwumede bi ti sei
oh first time
okay na me ba ye so no ma hu ne ma mebre ma hu se ya haya hu because ya na mama mre no ene se edi achire ya na muntu pa omutu pa ede maaye enti enchiri ma mo ha muni na nanom sumachi no mesra mo san komachi omo se san kofa ye nchi mo komachi san kofa sompa na nanom so a me hu se ebeboa ye na Kristo suma mfa ye nkodu ba bia na ada bi na mo de daada ye asafofo ne ko sho mu de mo ye mama mre omo ba so nde mo na ma baji esika nti obia san ko na chi no san ko so
na nyawa be hu sisi ano a she on kran se
next year mesan aba
okay ti ye ni anoma mo wa abuche diaspora family no ka be kire won ma ye se na be ya omo be jini awo kan di
ye nyanu makoka kwantu ma mu mamachi yesra mo amamre ye na nanu na ye no muja hokoye ese yeso ye to aso na abre bia nhira na omuhira ya omode to so no enkoso na na monto bia ebeto enye nhira enya na mutu pamayen ade ya ebe ye mama oye nhira ya obatan na obatan bia so abre bia obone ma ho ban obatan bia ma ne banko asan mu nti na ma ba ha be yi mapa ye minisa afisese mesen ya ba bie no me ma me be ma dansi de na me de ba nti o ma mo wa kwanto mu nyina afisese ye obi ansan mra na no susu me ye bi na obe ye nhira
yo yeda asese odi wadwinkyere e de aba
nkwani na keti ya bo mo cho Klikor pagam oh nya Klikor jiro tani mata yokura
afia ba wo mfia
ajiji
look at that wala na bali balafia agba na na made na nya
le ba mare nya de Klikor afuare lina vale mi wo tronwe ikanya festival oposha ponanka ke aruji nya no mo nye vale aba nya ivo na glena tro ko ji wo ga no pepe ha
ta sima te wala ba na bali balafia na nu ka va na dia glo na tobi ko awo jina
aji wo ga no
onye na ma
ye na ma
okay avia da la fia de ka wo pom fufu le nya ke ano shi na glo ni abade kon mo la ka de kon nye dada no
na avia la fia nya pom nya Klikor vi nya pom ye mia de tro wo iroji na ga chochi won ha ye de konwe manya tro wo nya ika tro na radu de komunya abio ro homo o ka to le chochi ko ma ka ba o le homo o du no adao kata o le chochi ka ka o le safo chu du ma ka mia de Klikor vi o bo yo chochi won ko o gba de konwa ta no sifiere no trova de konwa da konwa ala rokushi na o do pe bla na glene na sroda pama nyonyomo na glene na makovie jijimo glene
abla chena ba to boya agbare amana ho gada la shiwa bi na ni
mana kama ho gada ka miasho o wuni na mini cho pama anye do akpekpe da chi o fa o gada ngo awuru o gaba vaga mana kama ho sidi mana ka shale o gona ba bajoro pa vojuru vi ono joga Klikor nyama le mi o nya gbo
akpa dada Kate ni da akpa na
des mi de nyankopon se na na mu na mu di kan no mo aye bibia to ama ye ne yesu ya beto aso na satam ne yesu ya dan se di bible si na ya yira ye chi kwan na ti se ya re ni sanyo sa mi ma me ya no ka che se omo baby ko ntene afiwe da mi su miniska pa ba ma bo mi humbo dia mi hum mini nsansu nyankopa adom ene mi gina ha mi gina ni dim na na ni dim se afi se means far mi nan se samba mi da dance de na beba nti obi a o baby asisi a ana se odi bible na bibi ya no si obebo mpa na adabi se uni u ko baby na uni ho ko a baby o free de uni no asako chi in the mass
se u baby na u ko baby na uni mu ho a baby a o free de uni sa
be sa be fie
o sa o be fie
e be bu sa ho ase
asemu ye duro se u ko baby na se uni mu ho a baby a o free ba ye de uni mu ho sanko uchi na neko bisa ase ewa ha mami yeda ase se ode wa no ntu numusem ade atudwa
ya de ditam abalaka de ditam nya na mo ba Torgbui agbo ye Torgbui aso ho ye nye pe no mi lagbagba ala ba wa pe gbogbomo wa ba ka o yo gbogbomo to so kaka Liberia o ba nya ba Ghana nyi ba ja o mete o ndekamu wan to ga ko to ko Liberia re mala ko to lagbe da na no bi da li ye ka ba gbogbomo nya chi ye ma ko na mo to na ba Torgbui agbo kwa Torgbui a ogene bo buere ofu pakpare kama la mo ga glo ga sugbon re ko na mbasi sami okay o so Togo ma okay re ko gare never Torgbui a bo ni re be ni o de bi na ma ona do na na ka so gbo fa be ne pe joku apomo le no ti ka ti re pepe ke la shi dama shi sale lo agbede le lo do apele du mu sha mu ka ji le kwa o pe kwa ha ko gare pere mba Torgbui agbo do de gboro kwa o ne chana ji apoma o ja ji rajo o so report so pe pa lo o ti shafi wo moto mo di o mo ji wo ka ta o ja kla mo mu so no wo ka kana ku ja agbar ba sia ko Torgbui so ji wo da she Torgbui bo no kwata mo to so si re ma de jore suku ko vitore ji wo suku de ko suku nya so ko Torgbui ba na pere vi oji wa suku wa ya bro chi wa suku ke shino to ni cha me ka gbe che ne mo ba li mo gbodumo wa o to ro gbodumo le ya Torgbui a ona do makata akpoko me so na me fofo amaga ga di we adanya mo ko jimru na ko to ko to bo no ja baba no church to mi able ma le gbogbo church to mi able ma le gbogbo ni so nke le wona ma ko to ko la fo to church wa ma no va bo na gba ko to ko bla to ya na gba e gba la fo reka e gba la fo mo bra so be mi agba si ya na le ke so ge afagio on to ko avata na mo la jijipo amuro wa bla ma ta na va po me no zana mo bo mo me zana mo ba mo bo ga aha ni kuna blele dagbla adam tan Torgbui am ke mi sham ke le jile Torgbui agbo ya so dun gba for le drana le bi Torgbui no ne ashipa no keke ne ya so afọ adu ape na Torgbui na do shade ne ne keke lo ape ma de to ko to me se tim la fi yo la mo san agbeji dan ape la gbe fi da gbe chi da gbe ye ne gbe mi mi do na si ya ro ko nyenya ko shiwa
Oshiwa Torgbui
sagbado mi afufu mi ano bo menye mi mi ale bo mi ale bo ni le mo bi ate ko jiji Torgbui dina lo adina ame manya ba dina wa yeko mi u hana nko bo no va pe na mi asuko wa ga vivia uya ado ne mi egba ple cho kata ba ya mi o nya mo ko le ma o sugbon to ni ma de pe ni ma ple wa vo Torgbui ne pere mi anu la mo se ta mi va do o mi a ple ke yo church yi a o de kongo yo nane de konga ji komile ye ma ko nyomi ku gado no ma yiwa ago ni ma leji ro mi aba nsa so mo ta mi ga kwene bana ga wene mi wuma la masa mi aba viona fon mi ano na fon uma vi kata na fon c'est vo vi tu a mi aswanto la mana noji tekbe nya mama ha wa no se sinde la masana no ushi nya va ubo wa komi ajulo mi da pene mi da